2013 council meeting. I'd like to welcome everyone. We have some residents in attendance, some guests, and at this time I'd like to ask everyone to stand as we say the Pledge of Allegiance and to remain standing as Mr. Moore does the invocation for our meeting tonight. Thank you. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Moore?
Bear with me just a moment. I wanted to share a personal comment, if I might, with the permission of the mayor. This will be my last opportunity offering vocation, as I'll be leaving May 23rd from West Milton United Church of Christ. And I do want to share with you that in 20 years of ministry and in 8 years in serving West Milton, it's a unique and wonderful community to minister in. And I want to thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to offer the invocation at these meetings. Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we thank you for the gift of governing ourselves with peace and justice and integrity for our community. We ask for your continued blessings for the vision and the plans with which our leaders are entrusted. We thank you for a community that honors you and seeks to serve others and meet the needs of those who could use a helping hand. May you continue to make us all a blessing to others as we serve the citizens of the community here in West Milton. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Moore. We wish you well.
Yes.
At this time, the meeting's now in order. If the clerk would please call the roll.
Mayor Cody.
Here.
Francis.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Tinnerman.
Here.
Vogel.
Here.
Ashley.
Here.
And Willis.
Yeah, here.
The following is the certificate of the clerk. The undersigned certify that all requirements to notice and notification has been done or attempted to be done in compliance with Council Rule 3. Dated May 14, 2013, signed Linda Cantrell, Clerk of Council. Council should have received their minutes for the April council meeting as well as the workshop. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt the minutes as written for the council meeting in April.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Thank you. Does council wish to add any discussion to these minutes? Okay. Roll call, please.
Francis.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Tinnerman.
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Ashley.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
And Mayor Cody.
Yes. Thank you. We also have our workshop minutes for the month of April. Council should have also received those. I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt those minutes as written.
So moved.
Second
again.
Thank you. Does council wish to add any discussion to those minutes? No. Roll call, please.
Francis.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Tinnerman.
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Ashley.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
And Mayor Cody.
Yes. Thank you, Linda. At this time, we have a correspondence to council from the Lions Club, and I invite Mr. Klein to explain that. And
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Should have received in your packets a copy of a letter that we recently received from the West Milton Lions Club, who is the sponsoring agent for the July 4th festivities. This also typically includes an end of the festivities fireworks display. They are requesting council consideration to participate in the helping to fund or the cost of the fireworks. This is something that I believe I've written in a memo to you. This is something that has traditionally been done by the village council over the years. Last year being an anomaly, just because simply they didn't ask for the money last year, which was just an oversight on their part. I've been told by the finance director that we have typically, in the past, have given about $3,000. But as you can see in the letter, they've committed to a fireworks company for a $12,000 display on the 4th, and they're asking for any consideration of council as to how they would like, if they would like to participate this year.
What does council think?
I don't see why we shouldn't.
I think we should definitely be a part of our community fireworks.
I'd like to make a motion that we donate $3,000.
Well, is there, and I don't know the finances, but what would be comfortable? Because if we've done that for a number of years and the costs have obviously gone up, can we increase that any?
I mean, we could increase it, excuse me. The line item that it comes out of, we will have to bump up at the August reappropriation, because there's only about $2,000 left in that one
So it
line
hasn't
item,
bumped up
but,
anyway.
but there would, I mean, whatever council would be comfortable with, we would be able to cover.
Do you have a number
Could we
that,
go to 5?
5,000? Going once?
Well, I
Let's
mean,
get it.
that's.
If we have it,
if
yeah.
we couldn't be able to sometimes do it every year. We're doing 3,000 in the past.
Right.
I mean, I can see giving them more this time because of not giving them any last year. You know, we had it budgeted. But we don't want to get where we're kind of like looking at 5,000 every year.
Yeah, we don't want to set a precedent.
We don't want to
I
do
don't
that.
think.
We can maybe split it.
I agree with that.
I think that sounds good.
I'll make a motion that we donate $5,000 to the Lions for the fireworks.
I'll second that motion.
Been seconded? Okay. Does council have any discussion, or do we, lost my train of
What
thought?
I'm gathering, though, is 5,000 for this year because we did not participate last
Correct.
year.
Right.
But
Correct.
typically, I'll let the Lions Club know that typically we will
Go back to our 3,000.
go back to our 3,000.
Right.
They'd be very
That's the
appreciative
way
of
I
that, I'm
feel
sure.
anyway.
Council have any other discussion regarding the fireworks? Okay. Roll call, please.
Francis.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Kinnaman.
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Ashley.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
And Mayor Coe.
Yes. The motion has been adopted, and we'll be donating 5,000 to the Lions Club for the fireworks this year. So that's good news. So, we'll move on to our next item, which she's not here, she'll be coming later.
Cindy Bach from the Miami County Solid Waste District was scheduled to do a presentation. She did a presentation across the county, and she's driving here. From my understanding, she said she might be a little late. I told her that if she was late during that part, that would be no problem. She probably will be here by the time I give the manager's report, and I'll just give her the floor then, if that's okay.
Thank you. At this time, we welcome comments from citizens regarding tonight's legislation. Thank you. Well, we'll move on to our ordinances and resolutions. Our first item is CM-1306, the alternative tax document. And Mr. Sells, would you please read?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution CM 13-06. A resolution declaring the intention to proceed under the alternative tax document format provided under section 5705.281 of the Ohio Revised Code. Whereas sections 5705.281 of the Ohio Revised Code authorizes and empowers a county budget commission by an affirmative vote of a majority of its members, including an affirmative vote by the auditor of the county, to waive the requirement that a taxing authority of a subdivision or other taxing unit adopt a tax budget, as is provided under section 5705.281 of the Ohio Revised Code, and require such taxing authority to provide such information as may be required by the commission to perform its duties under chapter 5705 of the Ohio Revised Code, including dividing the rates of each of the subdivisions or taxing units' tax levies as provided under section 5705.04 of the Ohio Revised Code. And whereas pursuant to the terms and provisions of section 5705.281 of the Ohio Revised Code, the Miami County Budget Commission, by an affirmative vote of a majority of its members, including an affirmative vote by the auditor of Miami County, Ohio, has authorized and permits the taxing authority of a subdivision or other taxing unit within Miami County, Ohio, to refrain from adopting a tax budget, and has designated the information which the said budget commission requires of each taxing authority of a subdivision or other taxing unit to permit the Budget Commission to perform its duties under Chapter 5705 of the Ohio Revised Code. And whereas it is the desire and intention of the council as the taxing authority of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio, to elect and to refrain from adopting a tax budget for the fiscal year 2014, and in the alternative, to submit to the Budget Commission the information and documents which it has indicated will be necessary in the absence of such adoption. And now therefore be it resolved by the council of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio, West Milton, Miami County, Ohio, that Section 1, the council of the municipality of West Milton hereby declares its intention to proceed under the alternative tax document format provided under Section 5705.281 of the Ohio Revised Code, and refrain from the preparation of a tax budget for the fiscal year 2014. And Section 2, the council of the municipality of West Milton hereby authorizes and directs its chief fiscal officer to prepare and to submit to the Miami County Budget Commission such information and documents as are necessary to said process and submission, and to take such other actions as may be reasonably necessary incident thereto. And Section 3, the council of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio hereby finds and determines that all deliberations and actions related to the foregoing were effected in open and public session and in full compliance with Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code, and otherwise as is provided by law.
Thank you.
Don't ask me to explain that.
Thank you, Mr. Sells. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Does council have any discussion regarding this resolution? Okay, roll call, please.
Francis,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Tinnerman,
Yes.
Fogle,
Yes.
Ashley,
Yes.
Willis. Yes. And Mayor Cope.
Yes, the resolution's been adopted. We'll move on to our second resolution for this evening, CM-1307. Mr. Sells?
Mr. Mayor, Resolution CM-13-07, a resolution reaffirming the existing pickup plan for the police pension and adopting the new procedures. The Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Miami County, Ohio, met in a duly called and authorized meeting of the board on the date set forth below, such a meeting being duly called pursuant to a notice stating the time, place, and purpose of the meeting received by all council members. And the following resolutions were made, seconded, and adopted by those present at the meeting. Whereas the eligible employees of the police department participate in the Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund. Whereas the council desires to pick up all of the mandatory contributions required to be paid under Section 742.31 of the Ohio Revised Code for participating employees of the police department who are members of the Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund. Whereas Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund has adopted new procedures for reporting picked up contributions in order to properly prepare 1099-R forms for its members. Whereas the council wishes to reaffirm, amend, and/or restate its prior resolution in order to continue the pickup under the new procedures. Now therefore be it resolved by the municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, effective as of July 3rd, 2013, July 2nd of 2014, and July 15th of 2015, the Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio has determined to continue to pick up all of the mandatory contributions by the employees who are members of the Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund by paying the contributions through a payroll reduction. Section 2, said picked up contributions paid through a payroll reduction, even though designated as employee contributions for state law purposes, are being paid by the municipality in lieu of said contributions by the employee. Section 3, said picked up contributions will not be included in the gross income of the employees for tax reporting purposes, that is, for federal or state income tax withholding taxes, until distributed from the Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund. Section 4, said picked up contributions will be included in the gross income of the employees for employment tax purposes as the contributions are made to the Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund. Section 5, said employees shall not be entitled to any option of choosing to receive the contributed amounts directly instead of having them paid by the municipality to the Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund. Section 6, this resolution shall go into effect and be in full force after its passage.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Thank you. Council, have any discussion regarding this resolution? Okay. Roll call, please.
Francis.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Tinnerman.
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Ashley.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
And Mayor Coe.
Yes, this resolution's been adopted. Our last and final item of legislation is an ordinance to amend the 2013 appropriations. Mr. Sells?
Mr. Mayor, ordinance CM-13-08, an emergency ordinance. An emergency ordinance to amend the 2013 appropriations. Whereas council by ordinance CM-12-36 adopted 2013 final appropriations for the various funds utilized by the municipality, and whereas it is necessary to adjust the appropriations to reflect unanticipated expenditures. Now therefore be resolved by the council of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that section 1, the following amendments to the 2013 appropriations of the municipality of West Milton, Ohio are hereby made. I'll read the various funds, and then I'll read the original appropriation, what it is amended by, and then the amended appropriation. General fund, original appropriation, $1,768,825. Amended by $7,200. The amended appropriation then becomes $1,776,025. The park fund, $32,750, which is the original appropriation, amended by $755, and the amended appropriation is therefore $33,505. The sewer capital improvement fund, the original appropriation is $17,750. It's amended by the sum of $40,000. The amended appropriation then becomes $57,750. Section 2, any previously drawn warrants on these funds in excess of the original appropriation are hereby authorized. Section 3, this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, safety, and general welfare, and shall be effective upon its passage.
Thank you. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adopt this ordinance.
So moved. Second.
Council, have any discussion regarding this ordinance? Mr. Klein?
I think, just to be fair to the TV audience, typically we don't introduce emergency ordinances, especially when it comes to appropriations. But these are just three items I'd like to just describe quickly. The $755 were contributions made in the memory of a former employee, Duke Small, who used to work for the village for 30-plus years. And in lieu of flowers, the family had asked for donations in his memory. They gave us the $755 to hold on to. The family, along with friends, are starting to make some decisions as to what they would like to do down in the park, like a bench and some flowers near the pond. Unfortunately, we didn't actually put the $755 into this year's budget. We just held on to it until such time as they were ready. We can't expend that money for them unless you put it in the budget. So that's one. The $7,200. Ben was very fortunate in being able to receive a grant for the cutters for extraction of persons in a vehicle for the fire department. The grant was for $7,200. Essentially what you're doing is you're accepting the grant, putting it in the budget so it can be spent on both on the cutters, and where he had budgeted $7,200 for cutters, we're moving that to a different line item for radios. So you have to, when you're doing this reappropriation, you're accepting the grant, putting it in the budget so you can actually spend the money. And then finally, the $40,000 in the sewer capital improvement. There is a drive motor at the wastewater treatment plant that is on its last legs and needs to be replaced immediately. Later on in my report, I'll probably ask council also for consideration to waive the formal bidding process procedures for this because basically one, when we built the wastewater treatment plant and when it was built, that council basically decided what kind of drive motor you're going to have at that tank. So there's really only one company that can provide that motor for us to replace. And two, it is an emergency, it needs to be replaced. I believe Tim's estimate is actually in the $30,000 range, but while we were writing this legislation, I rounded up to 40 to make sure everything was covered. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. Roll call, please.
Francis.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Tinnerman.
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Ashley.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
And Mayor Coe.
Yes, this ordinance has been adopted. Thank you. Our final piece of legislation is regarding an ordinance establishing a charter commission for the purpose of reviewing and revising the existing charter. So, Mr. Sells, if you would please read another one. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance CM-13-09. An ordinance establishing a charter commission for the purpose of reviewing and revising the existing charter. Whereas the council for the municipality of West Milton, Ohio had deemed it's advantageous to form a charter commission to review and revise the existing municipal charter and to clarify and specify the revisions for the betterment of the municipal government. Whereas according to Charter Section 11.03, Subdivision A4, the Charter Commission must be formed by ordinance. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio, that Section 1, the Council for the Municipality of West Milton is creating the Charter Commission in accordance with Charter Section 11.03, Subdivision A4. Section 2, that this Charter Commission shall compile and present a report to the municipal election authorities pursuant to the requirements of Charter Section 11.03, Subdivision B. The recommendations of this report shall be placed before the electorate for their approval. Section 3, that the members of this Charter Commission shall be as follows: Krista Carpenter, Jack Scudmore, William O'Brien, Paul Johnson, Chris Long, Robert Herron, Andy Grafflin, Michael A. Coate, Jason Tinnerman. Section 4, that this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after the earliest date permitted by law.
Thank you, Mr. Sells. This is the first reading of this ordinance, and in June we will take it up for vote. So, thank you. We'll move on to municipal manager's report. Mr. Klein.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Previously in the agenda, we were to recognize Cindy Bach, Miami County Solid Waste District. Cindy is going to give us an update presentation, so I would like to give her the floor. Hi, Cindy.
No.
Okay, as Matt said, this is just an update about what's going on in the world of solid waste. Right now, Ohio EPA is revamping the House bill that created the solid waste districts. Back in 1988, this was a bill that told the counties, do you want to be a single solid waste district, or do you want to form a multi-county district? And Miami County decided to go out on their own as a single solid waste district because we had the transfer station. With the governor's consolidation of services, one of the things the High EPA director has done is to say we're going to gut the bill and redo it. So we are looking at items such as consolidation of solid waste districts. We're looking at populations of districts that are 100,000 or less. We are on the bubble at 102,000 rather. So we're waiting to see what happens there. They also, have a timeline, but then it keeps getting pushed back. We thought there might be legislation this fall. Now they're saying maybe next year. So I just wanted to put that on your radar to let you know that is going on. Something else that's getting ready to ramp up is our solid waste district update. We have to do that every 5 years per the high EPA. And every 5 years, send out the big binder with all of the information from the solid waste district that's gathered. So we'd appreciate it if that was ratified again after Mr. Klein goes through it. Also, the hauling and disposal contract for the trash in Miami County, that just went back out for bid. The bids came back and they are lower. Right now, the trash goes to Georgetown, Ohio with Rumpke, and the company that got the bid was Republic. And because of the transportation costs to Cherokee Run landfill in Bell Fountain, the prices are lower. Yay. So we'll see that happen. What happens with the tipping fees, but we're hoping something might occur that's favorable. Something that we're getting started to, for our water sewer customers is credit card payments. We have not had that yet. So that is coming up, and we're changing our vendors. The transfer station has had credit card payments for some time, but we went back out for bid for that again, and a company called Point and Pay is the company that was chosen. So that's, the software companies are talking to each other, so that's getting worked out. I don't know have all of you been to the transfer station in some shape or form? So you probably know about most of the programs that are out there, but just to go over it real fast. Of course, we have the waste drop-off. We have animal carcass disposal, lead-acid battery, and propane tank recycling. We also have a program for latex paint. Anytime the transfer station excuse me, is open, we will take latex paint from residents for proper disposal. We also have tire disposal. We have a certified waste scale. We have appliance disposal where we have technicians that will take the freon out. And we have a wood waste program. Taken at the recycling center, I know your residents already have a curbside program, but if you know of somebody out there in the county that wants to recycle, we have a drop-off for them where we take the majority of the items that you do here in West Milton. Yes. So we also have a blue bag program. I was just in Casstown, so I'm between cities there. So we also have a blue bag program where residents can buy 5 30-gallon bags for $6. For residents that are out there by themselves or just 2 people, this is a good program where it's a cheaper program for them to dispose of their trash. They can bring in their recyclables and their trash at the same time to our recycling center. Some of the special programs that are happening, we just had our first household hazardous waste drop-off for the year. We started going on a monthly program from 2 to 6 on the first Wednesday of each month. Unfortunately, we still have to charge that $1 per pound. The vendors didn't lower the prices on those items, but we had about 40 cars for the first event, so we'll see how it goes for the rest of the year. We also have a cell phone drop-off where residents can drop off their cell phones. Program with the sheriff's office. They have somebody to refurbish them and they go to abuse victims. We also have event recycling containers. So they were at the July 4th event last year, I believe. And if you want them there again, we'll have them there. We do that program along with RT Industries of the county. And if you know anybody that has even like a wedding and you want to have event recycling, they're there for your use. So some of the events that we've already had this spring include a composting workshop we had with the master gardeners of the county. We had about 70 people and it was very well received. We also had a drug enforcement agency pill take back with the sheriff's office, and we had 100 pounds of pills that were taken back. So it's a good program. We also had a shred fest for folks that want to dispose of their documents and want to get shredded. We do that with Angie Shred of Troy. We do that annually. This coming Saturday, we're having a compost bin and rain barrel sale. It's a semi that comes out of Canada. It's called a company called EnviroWorld. They come down for the day, and the event will be at the Upper Valley Applied Technology Center up on Looney. The compost bins are $50 and the rain barrels are $60. So if you know anybody that's in or looking for one of those. And then coming up on June 1st is the electronics drop-off, and those electronics get recycled through Goodwill Industries, and they have a program with Dell. It's called the Reconnect program, and there is no charge for that. So that's it in a nutshell. Went through that really fast. Does anybody have any questions?
What was the date of the electronic?
June the 1st. When I scheduled that, didn't even think about the Strawberry Festival is going on at the same time.
Oops.
And that's from 8 until noon. So, anything else? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Okay.
Mayor, Council, I only have a few other items. Just to give you a brief update at the PVP parking lot, no longer a building. It's now down. The contractor has asked for final grade stakes to get the land to the proper grade before construction of the parking lot. This afternoon, the engineer told me that he's about a foot short of being where he needs to be. I was told verbally that everything has passed the compaction testing, but I have not yet received the actual written report yet. So we're waiting on that. I'm sure many of you, I'm mowing my grass twice a week because of the rain. Now, if you'll remember, if you recall last spring, it was rather dry. We have already sent out, I believe, 28 letters to properties for high grass in one stage or another. If you'll remember that the ordinance requires 2 letters, 7 days in between each. 5 homes, I'm happy to say, have responded immediately and mowed. I'll take that back, 6 homes. So I did another drive-by this afternoon knowing I'd be coming to the council meeting. There's 5 currently on the list that have already received 2 letters, and they'll be being mowed hopefully this Friday. I'd like to have those properties cleaned up before the weekend. And then there's another, that would leave 18 homes that have already received their first letter. We're anticipating several of them to go ahead and mow once they've received their first letter, but second letters will go out next Monday. What I'm asking for the public is to remember how wet it is right now and how dry it was last spring. We realize the height of the grass. Our ordinance does require us to send out a letter once it gets to 6 inches or beyond. And then we are required to send out 2 letters, which takes 14 days. So if you can just imagine, you can't send the letter out until 6 inches. It continues to rain for another 2 weeks. That grass gets very high, and we understand that. As I was explaining to somebody prior to the council meeting, then what we do is we'll mow it once, and we'll get the property cleaned up. If it gets to that point again, we send out only 1 letter. We wait that 1 week period, and then we just put it on a regular mowing schedule. And then we just continuously mow it all the time. Again, billed and be attached as an assessment to the property taxes at the end of the year. I'm running into a couple things that are putting us even further behind the 8 ball. I understand when you're trying to be a good neighbor and you're trying to keep your property looking nice, so you mow the front of someone's property. Problem is, we don't always catch that the back is continuously growing. So now it's getting really high, and we still are required to send out 2 letters. And I know of 2 properties now that are doing that. No one's calling us to let us know that those properties are that high. We just happened to find them today or catch them. So we have to send out the letters, but now you're putting us behind the 8 ball because that grass is going to continue to grow until we can actually get in the backyard to mow it. I understand what you're trying to do, but if you could just call us and let us know, we get those letters out the same day that we get a call. So work with us here just a little bit, but be patient. There are several properties that are going to be mowed, hopefully by this Friday, and we'll go from there. Just want to let you know that there's a new video that you might want to check out. Go to our website, westmiltonohio.gov. Our video was produced by Tom Beck from WMPA, and he's entitled it, "Things Are Happening in West Milton." It's also on YouTube, and I've been told that it's had over 400 hits. So, council had its first reading on the Charter Review Commission. My apologies for having to slip that into tonight's agenda. I mistakenly assumed that the council could just appoint that and didn't have to be done by ordinance, but we've had the first reading. Each of the members I've been able to talk to, they're all excited. And I tried to get a good mix of those who can give us some historical perspectives, those who have served on council in the past, those who are currently on other boards or just have a genuine love for the community and wanted to become involved. So I hope you appreciate the 9 members that are being recommended for the commission. We did pass the emergency ordinance, which included the $40,000 for the sewer treatment plant. Our ordinances do require anything that is estimated to be over $25,000 to do a formal bidding procedure. However, council does have the authority to waive that on certain circumstances. As I tried to explain, if you have any questions, Tim's here. He could explain it much better than I about the motor at the wastewater treatment plant. But I would ask council's consideration for a motion in a second with probably a voice vote would be acceptable.
Yes.
Allowing us to waive the actual formal bidding procedures, if that is okay.
I'd like to entertain a motion to waive the bidding process.
So moved.
Second.
Waive the bidding process for the drag motor for the sewer plant. More specific. So it's been moved, second. Okay. Council, have any discussion regarding this motion? I do have one question, though. I might have missed it from Matt, but what's the benefit of going this route with it, just without having the bidding?
Basically, when we built the new plant, we went with IMCO products. All the motors, all the drives, the tanks, the walkways, they installed all that. They changed names 3 or 4 times. It took me several days just to find this particular drive motor. If we went with somebody else, it may not meet the specs of all this, so we'd have to change everything, probably drive the cost up. So I finally found it's FL Smith that bought out IMCO, and they're the ones that are going to bid. They're the only ones that can bid this particular drive. So.
Makes sense. Make sure I understood it. So, thank you, Tim.
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Francis.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Tennerman.
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Ashley.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
And Mayor Cope.
Yes. The motion's been approved.
Thanks.
Thank you. Finally, as we've discussed in the past, I would like to, for council's consideration, I believe the charter allows me to appoint a law director, but it also says that it should be at the advice and consent of council. We would like to put forth the name of Lene Brosh. Lene has sat in the seat before on a couple occasions, especially when there's lengthy legislation.
That wasn't tonight.
So I'd like to bring her name forth as our Assistant Law Director. But prior to swearing her in, I believe it would be my recommendation that I would have an entertaining a motion or a second, and also a voice vote for that appointment.
And just to add briefly, I think we should do it with the idea that she would act in my place or my stead if I'm not here, and have the authority not just to advise council, but also to sign the necessary legislation and sign contracts and things like that. I think that would be the purpose, one of the purposes of her being appointed as the Assistant Law Director, so I think it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Make a motion that we allow the appointment of Lene to Assistant Law Director.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion regarding this motion? Okay. Roll call, please.
Francis.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Tinnerman.
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Ashley.
Yes.
Willis.
Yes.
And Mayor Coe.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. At this time, if it's all right, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce Lene to the TV audience, but also swear her in as our Assistant Law Director. Lene?
We're gonna do it slow, I'm okay.
Would you raise your right hand and repeat after me? I, and state your name,
I, Lene Brosh,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Charter of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio,
the Charter of the Municipality of West Milton, Ohio,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
honestly,
honestly,
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties of the office
discharge the duties of the office
of Assistant Director of Law
of Assistant Director of Law
for the Municipality of West Milton,
for the Municipality of West Milton,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
during my continuance in said office.
during my continuance in said office.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
No, not good. Okay. Perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Sign the paperwork for Ashley. Thank you, council. And that ends my report for this, I'm sorry?
Community Pride.
We will be having our Community Pride Awards for the next council meeting. Council will have the nominations to them in probably the last packet of May, which we should give you plenty of time to check out the properties. So we'll be taking any nominations for the Community Pride Award. We'll be reinstating those as we did, the inaugural year of last year. We'll be doing that again this year. So we'll take any nominations that anybody may have. And we'll have the winners here at the next council meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Klein, for your report this evening. At this time, we'll just move on. If council has any old business, new business. I welcome comments from citizens at this time. Sounds good. Before we close, I just want to once again thank Chuck and Lene for their work they do for our community. I know we don't see everything they do. My brother Brandon has worked with them, and I think we have some pretty good law directors, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
As well, I also want to just move on, thank our community, and for as I took a drive through town tonight, I really noticed a lot of people are really keeping up on their homes and their yards, and it looks good. And so we're looking forward to the Pride Awards, and we hope it can be a wonderful summer, and things can continue to improve and look well. And I think we have a great community, and we're moving forward and we're not moving behind, so that's a great thing. We have great leadership, great staff, Mr. Klein.
Thank you.
So let's all work together and even help our neighbors as as these rains come, things can be difficult to keep up. So just be looking out, be a part of this community. So we appreciate that and thank you. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Michael, I
Oh,
do have a
yeah,
few
sorry.
things.
Yeah.
Comments from council. On our newly named July 4th parade is now going to be known as our Independence Day Parade. We had a meeting about a month ago. It was attended okay. We got some good feedback, some good ideas coming up. Jack Scudmore, the festival chairman, was there, and it has been arranged for the motorcycle stunt riders to perform down in the park on July the 3rd at 6 p.m. down at the lower parking lot. I've been asked, why are we doing the signups? It just used to always be you come to the parade and that was it, and that's fine. But last year we had TV5 out of Troy. This year Tom with WMPA is going to do a production of it, and it's nice to know ahead of time who's going to be there so we can get your name announced. If you want your participants all listed, put that on the sheet. The sheets are available at the website and in the municipality office. And I can be reached through the website. We had Mr. Defoe here at our last meeting for the park board. Concerns of what we were going to do with the newly formed park. We will be having a meeting tomorrow night at 6:30 in this room here. So if anybody wants to view their ideas for the new park, please feel free to join us. That's all I have.
We may actually meet in the conference room, just because we're going to do a brainstorming session. I may put paper up all over the wall.
Okay.
It might be a little bit easier there, but either way.
We'll be in this building.
Yes.
Thank you, Susan. Anyone else? Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Meeting's adjourned.